Hi friends, welcome to video number 3 of my tutorial series on the Digitakt and the Digitone combo. And this one is all about live performance techniques. I want to show you some basic but also some more advanced techniques that I use to alter my sounds on the fly and in this way increase or reduce energy and create variation. This video, by the way, builds on tutorials 1 and 2 of the series on the Digi combo, where I talk about my general setup and track structure. So if you haven't seen these yet, you can find the last video linked up somewhere here above, and also the whole tutorial playlist down in the video description. To keep these tutorials consistent, I'll use the same example as in the last videos. This is my track or jam called Longing. Sounds like this. And I just released this track as part of my new EP Unending on all major music platforms. If you want to listen to that, the link is also down in the video description. Let's start with a very basic and obvious performance method, which is track muting. And the cool thing with this combo is that you can do all the muting for both machines with only the Digitakt. So for example, you can see here, these 4 tracks are the tracks 9 to 12 are the tracks 1 to 4 on the Digitone. So whenever I mute this one, you can see here this track gets muted too. And if I mute these 3, you can see here these tracks are muted too. And yeah, that's why I have the Digitakt always in global mute mode to use this device to do some muting on the fly. In this jam, for example, I created the whole intro only by muting several tracks and in this way build up the jam. So here I use the 2 layering tracks, 10 and 11, to have 2 different sounds play the same melody and bring them together in the end. Let me show you how I do this in the intro. And now I bring them together. Yeah, and this is how it works for me, pretty basic method, but it can bring a lot of variety into all your patterns. And in this example here, I could really build up the jam. And yeah, it is very easy due to the fact that you have all the muting combined here on the Digitakt. The next performance technique I use a lot is fill mode. In the last video of this series, I already showed on a lot of tracks that I use a lot of fill tricks on both the Digitone and the Digitakt, because I'm just a huge fan of the fill mode as a performance tool. So when I play you this, for example, this is how it sounds regular. And when I enter fill mode, you can hear there's a lot happening. I like to hold down the page button on both devices, which gives me more immediate control compared to locking the fill mode. But for this, I also need to use both hands, which limits me when I want to do other controls in a transition, for example. And I would really love to have the possibility to trigger fill mode on both devices by just holding page on the Digitakt and sending MIDI messages to the Digitone. So if you know a way to set this up, I'd be pretty happy to hear that. In my jams, I use both fill tricks and reverse fill tricks. So for example, my kick drum here are in, or the kicks are in reverse fill mode, which means that they don't play when I'm in fill mode. So to take them out easily, I can just hold fill, and I can also create smaller transitions within a main pattern. Let me show you that by going into pattern number 2 here. And I'll just try to perform a transition just by using the fill mode. That's the regular pattern. And now I do the transition. Yeah, you could hear that the kick was been taken out. There's a swoosh coming in on track 8 and a lot of additional stuff going on. This involves, of course, some programming in advance, but once you set all your fill tricks up across all of your tracks, you can perform transitions very easily by just holding the page button and then letting the machines do all the work for you. Now, trick number 3 is increasing or decreasing different parameters. And changing parameters on both devices is, of course, something that can have a big impact on your sound and this way build up or reduce energy in your pattern. For this, it is, of course, a good method to work with a filter and really to this way really open up a sound. And this is what I did in this jam here. On the ARPs 2 and 3 on the Digitone, I increased the filter cutoff and also the LFO's depth on the filter envelope to make the sound open up and support the transition towards the next main pattern. Let me show you what I mean and pay attention to what is happening to the sound of the ARPs. Yeah, I hope you could hear the sounds opening up and this way increasing the energy until we drop into the next main pattern and then also bring back the kick. Performance trick number 4 is using the global delay feedback gain. If you know my Digitone only jams, you might know that I love to use the delay feedback gain as a live performance tool to add more energy to my jams or remove some. I also made a specific tutorial on that. If you want to watch it, you can find this linked somewhere up here. And this technique I translated now to the Digi combo, which is a bit more difficult to do on both devices at the same time, but it works and it is great fun. Just to give you some background, the basic idea is to increase the global feedback gain to around 90 to 95, and in addition to that also increase the reverb sent to the delay. This way we build up some tension with all the additional feedback sounds coming in. Let me give this a try by doing a transition within this third main pattern here by using this technique. Yeah, I think you got the idea. The end was a bit messed up, but yeah, I think this really brings a lot of impact either to a main pattern that you're in or also to a transition pattern to go into a main pattern. Both works really well and it's great fun to experiment a little bit with that and get creative. Just keep in mind that the delay feedback gain can cause some issues if you turn it up too high. The gain will rise and this way really burst your ears. So for me, a safe state is somewhere around 95, which is halfway up on both devices. This works well for me and is kind of like my last safe state that I can use, and from there on dial it back. So yeah, just keep that in mind if you want to use this technique. Now, the last live performance technique I want to show you is the delay time pitch up. And this I kind of discovered by accident when performing with this combo, and I was using the global delay time to create kind of like a pitch up effect. In addition to the delay feedback gain technique, you can also make the global delay time on both machines in same amounts faster, and through the faster delay time create this pitch of the delay and make it rise. Let me show you what I mean by performing this in the main pattern too. First we of course increase the feedback again and the reverb. And now I make the delay time faster. Yeah, I think that's a really nice effect for live performances that can be used in addition to the delay feedback gain and just complements that really well and adds a lot of interest to the performance. And yeah, that sums up all the live performance and transition techniques that I use in my jams. One thing to really make the performance impactful, and that I did a lot in this tutorial as well, is of course to combine these techniques and use them together. I'll give this a try by staying in the main pattern 3 and doing a transition within the pattern, trying to use as many of these techniques as possible. So, okay, let's go. Yeah, this turned out a bit different than expected, but I hope this got you an idea of what you can do with these performance techniques and how to use them in your own music. Yeah, and that's it for this video. I hope that this one was useful for you. I'm not sure yet what I will do in the next video of this tutorial series. I thought about covering the topic of arranging a jam and getting from one pattern to a finished jam or song, but I'm not decided yet. So if you have any other input of what else you'd like to see in this series, let me know in the comments. And till the next time, stay safe and creative, and I see you soon. Bye.